Have you ever looked at an airplane and thought, what on earth were the engineers thinking? Because that's exactly what I thought of the first time I saw this, the Northrop's Tacit Blue. A rounded body that looks more like a whale than an airplane, flat base, tiny wings, two vertical tails. It almost looked like somebody left a plane out in the sun for a little too long and somehow convinced the Department of Defense to pay for it. But the more I started learning about the Tacit Blue, the more I realized something surprising. Every strange curve, every awkward angle, every unusual design choice existed to answer some of the biggest questions in stealth aviation. Questions like, could a stealth aircraft use a radar system without giving itself away? Could a curved surface actually be better for stealth airplanes? And could computers keep an airplane flying that was never meant to be stable in the first place? Now, these questions had to be asked and answered if stealth technology was going to advance. Now, this is the story of the Northrop's Tacit Blue. So why did engineers build a whale-shaped airplane? To understand that, we have to go back to the Cold War. In the late 1970s and early 80s, the Cold War was still in full swing. If conflict broke out in Europe, NATO planners expected Soviet forces to move quickly across the continent. Convoys of tanks, missile launchers, and command vehicles wouldn't stay in one place for very long. They would constantly be relocated to avoid being destroyed. Now, finding these moving targets became one of the military's biggest challenges. Stealth aircraft already showed promise. If you could reduce an airplane's radar signature, you could slip through enemy air defenses far more easily. But there was a small problem. A stealth airplane still had to find its targets. Traditional airborne radar broadcast powerful radio waves that could be detected. Even if the airplane itself was nearly invisible, its own radar emissions could give it away. So engineers faced an entirely new challenge. Could they build a stealth airplane that could quietly search for targets without revealing where it was? And that became the primary mission of the Tacit Blue. So instead of building a combat aircraft, Northrop built a flying laboratory. The Tacit Blue wasn't designed to carry bombs or break any speed records. Its job was simply to answer difficult engineering questions that nobody had been able to answer before. One of the biggest experiments involved something called a low probability of intercept radar, or LPI. For example, instead of shouting out across the skies with powerful radar pulses, sometimes 10 kilowatts or more, this system was designed to run off of a lot less power, sometimes even down to a single watt, and it used high processing gains to hear the signals coming back. Other aspects of LPI included high-duty cycling, high bandwidth, low sidebar antennas, or even coded pulses. Each of these features meant that the aircraft could search for moving targets while dramatically reducing the chances of its giving away its own position. Now, today, these concepts seem almost obvious, but at the time, this was groundbreaking. The Tacit Blue was also built to answer a question. Do stealth aircraft really need those sharp edges? Other stealth aircraft designs, like the F-117 Nighthawk, were covered in flat surfaces and sharp angles. These flat shapes weren't chosen because they looked futuristic. They were chosen because computers of the time could only calculate radar reflections from a flat panel. But engineers suspected that there could be a better solution. Smooth curves could actually scatter radar energy more effectively if they were shaped correctly. Now, the problem was proving it, and the Tacit Blue became the testbed. Its rounded body wasn't an accident, it was the experiment. Every curve helped engineers understand how radar waves reflected off of complex shapes. And there is, of course, one small problem of the design. Aircraft shaped like flying whales aren't exactly known for their excellent handling. The Tacit Blue was naturally unstable. In other words, if a pilot simply were to let go of the controls, the aircraft didn't really want to keep flying straight. Normally, that's a terrible quality for an aircraft. But, yet again, engineers had a solution. Instead of relying on a pilot to make the constant corrections, they relied on computers to continuously adjust the control surfaces dozens of times every second. Today, we call this the fly-by-wire technology. Modern planes rely on it every single time that they fly. But back then, it was still proving itself to be useful. With all of these questions being asked, answering them began in 1982 with the first test flight. Now, over the next several years, the Tacit Blue completed about 135 flights with about 250 hours of flight. Despite its unusual appearance, the aircraft successfully demonstrated exactly what Northrop had hoped for. Its LPI radar concepts worked, the stealth shaping worked, and its flight control system worked. And perhaps most importantly, engineers gathered enormous data to help shape the future of stealth programs. Now, for years, almost nobody outside the program even knew it existed. I mean, it was stealth. Like many Cold War projects, Tacit Blue remained hidden behind layers and layers of secrecy. It wasn't until 1996 that the aircraft was finally revealed to the public. Now, when photographs appeared, aviation enthusiasts could hardly believe what they were seeing. Some people joked that it looked like a whale. Others thought it looked like a school bus with wings. But either way, nobody forgot it. Even though the Tacit Blue never entered military service, that was never its purpose. Its mission wasn't to become a production aircraft. Its mission was to answer questions. Could stealth aircraft use advanced radar systems without being detected? Yes. Could smooth and curved surfaces help improve stealth? Yes. And could computers safely fly aircraft with extremely unstable designs? Again, yes. These answers helped influence the next generation of stealth aviation, including the technologies that appeared on the B-2 Spirit and other classified programs that are not fully understood today. Sometimes, the most important airplanes are the ones that never see combat. They're the strange-looking prototypes hidden inside secret hangars, quietly solving problems that shape aviation for decades to come. And Northrop's Tacit Blue is a prime example of this. And if you've enjoyed learning about one of the strangest experimental aircraft built, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, what's your favorite experimental airplane of all time? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.